Welcome back to Reese Reads All of Her Essays to the Internet. In this video, I'm going to be analyzing my UChicago creative writing essay, as well as my Why UChicago essay. UChicago is very much known for being the quirky one, so they like to have these really weird prompts to be one of their essays and have people answer them in the most creative way possible. This means that if you want to get in, you have to be weird. So every year, there are about 5 different creative writing prompts. However, I think you can also answer ones that are from past years. But like I said, it just matters that you are, being unique and being different and really letting loose with this essay. So my prompt for my year was to create a word using different roots and prefixes and suffixes and etc. I honestly had a lot of fun with these essays because I'm a huge fan of creative writing, so if you are a fan of creative writing, then you're really going to enjoy writing these. The word that I invented was incognitum post dict, and it is a noun that means the state of not knowing someone's name after speaking with them for the first time. They may know your name, yet it is too late in your relationship to ask for theirs. I wrote brackets, Latin, after the unfortunate encounters in the Roman Senate. So my first story is about a surfer, and it begins like this. Summer of 2008. Mike Fanning grabbed his board and headed out to the surf. As he climbed the dunes, he noticed not only the whirlwinds of sand across the beach, but also the population of surfers who had come to practice before next week's competition in Melbourne, Australia. Mick jogged down the slope, simply frothing to get a chance at the barreling waves. That's some good old Australian slang, so I did that on purpose. However, it was not until he was down at the beach and about to jump into the water that a stranger from behind grabbed his arm. "Sorry, Mick. Great white warning signs are up," the fan yelled over the wind gust. "I was told that we have at least 2 hours to sit and chat before the shark moves away." "Oh, I understand. Would you like to get some brekkie with me?" This was a time where I put a footnote at the bottom of my paragraph because I thought it'd be kind of dictionary-y. However, during the short journey, the fan started talking about his sister's pregnancy and threw his arm over Mick's shoulder. Mick stopped and turned to him. "Hey man, I'm so sorry, but I have no idea what your name is at all. This is the 3rd incognitum post dict that I've had to endure this week, and I feel terrible. Do you mind if we start again?" He put out an open hand. "I'm Mick." So I just kind of threw it at the end, but it was really cute. I do like Australia, so there isn't much to say about what exactly went on in that paragraph. All I really did was, threw in some imagery like it was a children's story, and, threw my word as well, which I think was a requirement of the prompt. Next story. "I'm going to be so late," Margot screamed internally as she ran out of the subway. Hyperventilating and sweating profusely, she arrived in front of the office building to meet her new superior. A powerful businesswoman stood at the revolving door checking her watch. "I am so sorry, but I'm here and I'm ready to work hard," Margot said between gasps. "I will permit it just this once. My name is Several cars in the street behind them honked while the truck ran a red light. Panic hit Margot instantaneously. She didn't hear her new boss's name. If Margot were to ask, the boss would dislike her more than before. Margot had to employ expert deductive tactics. The two began to take a tour through the building. "May I have your contact information to reach you with any problems?" Margot asked. A folder with everything you need to know about this job was mailed to you. It was labeled important. I take it that you didn't read it? Margot decided to stay quiet. What if I tried to find her on social media? She thought to herself. "How do you spell your last name?" Margot asked. "I would love to add you on LinkedIn." White. "I hope that helps you," her boss replied. Margot's stomach attempted a cartwheel. What an incognitum post dict! I have one more story in this little essay, and it is about a real estate agent trying to sell a home to a new couple. Pulling up onto the quaint, sunny suburban street, Sam Hendrickson felt the sweat permeating his shirt. Just a week ago, his boss gave him the strong warning that if he didn't sell a home within the next month, he would have to find new employment. Luckily for him, a lovely new couple was coming to meet him at this Dutch colonial revival. Exactly 10 minutes later, the couple showed up in their pristine Toyota Prius, a baby swaddled in the mother's arms. This was going to be the easiest sale he'd ever made. "Hello, my name is Elizabeth, and this is my husband Willis. Thank you so much for showing us around today. Our baby Luca is looking for a place to call home." "Nice to meet you, Elizabeth, Willis, and Luca," Adam says cheerfully. Adam lets the couple in through the front doors, and they are immediately drawn into the beautiful bay windows in the living room. He does not realize this and continues to the kitchen. "Hey!" Adam peeks his head around the corner. Oh no. The names of the couple had already slipped his mind. "Guys, come here and check this out." This incognitum post dict was not going to get in his way today. There is always another way. This door leads to the 2-car garage, one for Mr. and Mrs. Appleton. "Oh, please," Willis responds. "Mr. Appleton is my father." Adam offers a courtesy chuckle and they proceed upstairs. This is the master bedroom, but unfortunately it doesn't have ensuite bathroom. Does this bother you? Who? Me or her? The husband replies skeptically. Adam's cover was blown. You know what? I just remembered that I left my daughter at preschool, Adam says with a light quiver in his voice. I think we'll have to continue this conversation later. I'm such an incognizant person. Adam sprints to his car and drives away in shame. So in that story, it was all about the fact that, yes, he had heard the names of the couple, but then he forgot it. And so that kind of distinguished itself from the second story, where she never learned the name in the first place. There isn't really much to this essay, I would say. I would say that as long as you're having a really great time making it, and you put your own personal spin on it, then I think that you'll have a great time. Feel free to add in a bit of your own humor as well. It's not super important that you take yourself seriously in this. I know that there are some more academic topics, such as why are odd numbers so odd, but really, they're not that scary. I think as long as you do something fun and something interesting and something that is perhaps appealing to your own sense of humor, then it'll appeal to the sense of humor of others. So now we can move on to the Why UChicago essay. Now, this essay is really meant to make sure that not only are you a right fit for the school, but that you've done your research. And most of my research was around the dorm life as well as the type of people that go to UChicago. Now, like I said before, UChicago people are known for being like the quirky ones. So I really wanted to make sure that that got across. I wanted to share that main character quirkiness with the reader. I would say that if you really don't understand exactly what's going on at UChicago, you just don't have the resources, best ways to figure that out are going on to things like the UChicago Reddit page, seeing if you can talk to someone, if you know anyone that already goes there, perhaps from your school, consulting some of the resources that are online, like YouTubers like myself, or even just like the UChicago propaganda that they put out about like what makes them so different. For instance, houses, house culture, the botany pond, some of like the very specific house things that you can find in any document is really what's going to prove that you have interest. Otherwise, just like don't be afraid to be like casual with the reader. It's not important to do this like an academic essay because ultimately you're just trying to convey your own personality to them. And so I guess if you are like this like stern bookish person, then yeah, maybe that's something you want to try. But for a place like UChicago, which really values being like weird, then yeah, talking to yourself in this and questioning your own choices is really going to be appealing to a reader. Let's begin, shall we? Ooh, this lighting got really weird, didn't it? Shiny! This is just called UChicago Why. It has no formal title that I shared. It says, I am a self-proclaimed weirdo who has too many hobbies. I'm aware that these qualities might not appear ideal for a student at such a prestigious school, but UChicago is different. I want to go to a school that encourages this behavior when a student decides to think outside the box or explore some unheard of activity. The students at UChicago are unapologetically proud to share the knowledge they have, even if it is on the history of the Disney Renaissance. That is the first paragraph. I think it is really cute. I think it is, exactly what they want to hear. The school is prestigious, yet the students are bizarre at best. Next. I seem to have fallen into a pattern at school where I join clubs or seek out the odd jobs that the school has to offer. For example, during September of freshman year, I decided to join an aquarium club. Did I have a fish? No. Was I particularly interested in fish? Not necessarily. I just couldn't understand why those 5 people were so excited about sucking fish feces out of the gravel on the bottom of the fish tank. After that meeting, I understood why. None of the members knew much about taking care of fish, but they continued to volunteer because they were eager to learn and try. 4 years later, I am still in the club, teaching the underclassmen how to acclimate the little fish when they move into a larger space. So it's sharing a little bit about me and my hobbies, as well as why I think they're so interesting, and tying that back into, this like really weird personality trait of mine, which is joining too many clubs, which is still true. To understand me and my personality is to know that I am a passionate, perhaps too passionate, Francophile. Still true. From the Quebecois flag hanging on my wall to my French-only diving practice. That was great. Love that. Kind of forgot about that. I can confidently say that I've dedicated myself to language. However, it wasn't until after my introduction to my third pen pal that I realized the extent to which I like learning about the cultures of others. Guiding my French exchange student around Chicago for the last 2 weeks has been genuinely some of the most fun I've ever had. During the moments of the day when we weren't walking along Montrose Beach or trying to find new flavors of Stan's Donuts, we were sitting on my bed in my room talking about the differences of our college applications and whether a hot dog is truly a sandwich. It's not. It is a foreign influence that I look for in a university, an opportunity to travel and create relationships with international students. In this paragraph, I'm focusing a lot on my inherent Francophileness, which is very much still strong today. I also might have applied to the college as a French major, and this has nothing to do really with your application. I really don't think it has an impact. But being a Francophile is a big part of my personality, so I wanted to really emphasize that. I talk about the things that I like and what I find interesting. I also went ahead and shared all these really lovely moments that really kind of capture what I enjoy doing. Next paragraph. My French exchange student and I corresponded for nearly a year before she arrived, so I knew that I needed to do something to impress her. Although I've only taken Art 1 in school, some daring part of me decided that it would be smart to spend more than 20 hours during the summer painting a landscape of Carcassonne, France, a castle near her hometown. Without an easel, I sat on the floor of my living room with discount paints and brushes, trying not to break down after I accidentally touched my blue sky with black paint or created trees that somehow looked like rocks. As much as I wanted to create my magnum opus, I couldn't translate the image in my mind to the brush. At a certain point, I decided to relax and call my mistake a new artistic movement. I learned in that decision not to take myself too seriously and have some fun. Quoting my campus tour leader, "Why would I ever sit in my dorm if the resident deans had bought everyone hundreds of chicken nuggets?" I don't know if that was actually true. I hope it is. Certainly that is not unheard of at UChicago. I respect the UChicago students so much because they don't need to continuously remind others how intelligent they are, leaving time to focus on matters that are important to them. They can be as weird as they want while continuing to have their minds focused on the future. As I sit here considering what I wrote, it's so true. It's very clear that I did my research. This is exactly the type of person that UChicago kind of aspires to have. I don't want to toot my own horn, but it really is true. They're looking for people that are artistic, people that are, smart but don't want to show it because, we're a fake Ivy League. As a liberal arts school, we're learning all these things that might not be important for professional life, but you're doing it because college is a time to get an education and learn about other things. So really all this comes back to the central idea of having a UChicago core. And that might not be something that I, explicitly said, but it is surely implicitly implied. During this essay, I share my passions, and I talk about why the school is really interesting to me. During my first draft, I feel like I remember talking a lot about the beauty of the school and, why everyone's so smart and I want to be with them. And yes, all of that is super true, but that's something that anyone could write. So in this essay, you're not really talking about, I want to go here for this reason, and this reason, and this reason, and this reason, that you pulled off the website, but you have to take those reasons and say, what about me can imply that I'm going to take advantage of all of those things. Overall, though, have fun writing them. They're really great. I think that if you really make sure to make your own personality shine, then I think that'll come across as being really genuine, which is ultimately what you want. Overall, though, I hope that you enjoyed me, reflecting on my past. I certainly have not looked at these since I got in. Really, no one cares once you are accepted into the college. I hope that me reading these essays was really helpful to you. I certainly would have loved to kind of hear more about what different people that are in the college wrote for their essays. The opportunity doesn't come around very often where you get to share your own creative writing to people that will actually care about it. Anyway, have fun writing and good luck. Otherwise, I just made a video on the Common App essay, so feel free to also watch that if that's something that appeals to you. See ya!